Hey guys, in today's video we will be heading to the LFS to check out this wrasse that has been on my watch list for a very long time. So let's hit the road. So I'm currently here at Saltwater Paradise in Irving, and right off the rip we can see the clownfish and an anemone tank. But interesting I found was this crab at the bottom. This is known as the anemone crab, also known as the porcelain crab, and they have a really nice pattern to them and I like the way they look. Fun fact though, these guys aren't considered real crabs. Next, inside one of their big tanks they have this clownfish, and he looks like a regular clownfish on camera, but if you see him in person he's actually quite big. He's like 4 inches. I mean, look at this wrasse next to him, and that wrasse is pretty big too, maybe a foot long. One thing I really like about this fish store is that they keep their glass crystal clean, and next to the name of the fish has a date whenever they receive them, so you know exactly how long the fish has been there. In the back they have this softy dominated tank with more white light to it, and I couldn't help but notice this one frog spawn. So I really like this strand because the polyps are skinnier and they're smaller, but if you look at the one I have, it's more fat, so I've been trying to look for that specific strand. Or maybe it grows depending on things like light and flow. While looking through the tanks, I was greeted with this school of clownfish. I have a slight feeling that they came from the same clutch possibly. They all have really similar patterns and they're pretty identical, so possibly. In a separate tank they have these black and orange clownfish. Some people call them mochas, but they just have like an orange mouth. My black clownfish actually used to look like one of these guys, but when she grew up she lost that orange color. So after searching through all the tanks, I finally found the Possum Wrasse I was looking for. Unfortunately I couldn't get a good shot of this guy, but I found another one in a separate tank that looked a lot healthier, so I decided to pick him up. Here he looks a little goofy and he's just kinda in the corner of the bag, which I don't understand why. He really didn't move. After I got home I immediately started acclimating him. He really wasn't looking too well, but I gave him some time to recover.
A few minutes later.
So yeah, after acclimating him for about 30 minutes, he was up and moving, so I think he was just stressed from the trip back. But other than that, he looks pretty healthy and pretty fat, so I'm happy. While I was getting ready to check out and leave with the Possum Wrasse, I couldn't help but notice that they were also selling sexy shrimp for about 15 bucks, which was a lot cheaper than most of the other stores. So I decided to pick this guy up. So now I have about 3 of them in my pico tank. Alright, so after acclimation, I poured out most of the water and kind of just dumped him into the tank. Surprisingly, he didn't jump out of the little cup like some of the other fishes. He kind of just swam out slowly, went behind a silver rock, and disappeared for the rest of the day. So I kept recording, hoping that he would come out, but he really just stuck behind a rock. I even fed the tank and he did not even move a muscle. Here's a back view of the tank. Under the ash tree snail in the back, you can see him laying there next to the sand, so I just left him alone.
The next morning.
Here he is the next morning, out and about. So as you can see, his colors are really great. He was super pale coming home, but I think that was just because he was a little stressed. But other than that, he's been pretty good. I really like his colors. He does have a few marks on the side that I'm a little worried about, but I don't see any ick or anything, so I'm not too worried. Unfortunately, this would be like one of the best shots I would get on him, because about a week later, all he does is hide behind these rocks that you're about to see. I guess I can see where the name comes from. Large eyes, a snout, and little rat tail. So I found a better picture for you guys to look at. This is the Possum Wrasse picture from Live Aquaria. So pretty similar to the one I have. One difference I did see is in the tail. So in the picture you can see that it's little like fanned out, but the Possum Wrasse that I have, his tail kind of just looks like a little rat tail. So I'm not sure if it's because he's like purposely keeping it in, or maybe he's just not comfortable. I'm not quite sure. But other than that, he is completely reef safe. He's peaceful. So the like popular wrasse for most people is the 6-line wrasse, but I used to have one in the past and he kind of bullied my other fish, so I had to get rid of him. But this guy's peaceful and I haven't seen him do any harm. His max size is about 3 inches and he does good in tanks. Probably, I think honestly even a 10 gallon would be fine, so any like nano tank would be fine. He's already eating frozen in my tank, and I do see him picking at the rocks, so maybe he's looking for some pods, but I don't think my pod population is too big. A lot of people warn to keep a lid on with wrasse because they are known to jump out a lot, but to be honest, I just have a lid so none of my fish even has a chance of jumping out.
72 hours later.
Okay, so it's been about 5 days since I picked up this guy, and now he's just hanging out in this little central rock with my other fish. I guess this is their like HQ where they all meet because everybody like, lives in this rock apparently. But I think it's because I don't have a lot of hiding spots inside the tank, so yeah, they all just kind of hanging out. Hopefully when I upgrade in the future, all my fish will have more places to like live in and claim their territory. But other than that, he's been really shy. I'm not sure if it's because of the camera, maybe he's not used to that. But he really doesn't come outside in the front of the tank like my other fish do. He kind of just sits in like the middle and the back side. So yeah, I couldn't get a good shot of him, but here's a side view. So you actually can see that his tail is actually fanned out. So I guess that one day maybe he was just nervous and kind of stressed, so maybe his tail was kept in. I'm not too sure, but yeah, he looks like the regular possum wrasse now. Yeah, kind of a short video today, but if you guys enjoyed the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.